It's not appropriate for a man to be in a woman's locker room. It's not appropriate for a kid to be in a strip club. It's not appropriate for an adult to be lingering around on a kid's playground. Like, you know, there's just places where people just don't go. And a woman's locker room is one of those places that a man does not belong in. What's up, guys? Welcome to Let It Be Heard, where we are doers of the word, not hearers only. I'm your host, jaden.heard, and today we're going to be learning why the UPenn swimmers are transphobic for only wanting to change in a women's locker room with women. Check it out.
Every day, it seems like Lia Thomas's fellow athletes get more and more transphobic. Now they're saying they're uncomfortable sharing a changing room with her. You know, it's one thing to say that it has something to do with her speed. Like, that's transphobic too. But I can kind of understand it coming from a place of ignorance and not transphobia. However, this is just blatant transphobia. Nothing to do with her swimming, nothing to do with her abilities. They just don't want to be around trans people. You know, UPenn, if you really want to show your support for Lia, kick these transphobic girls off the team. They're the problem, not...
So, the women who don't want to change in a locker room with homeboy who has a penis, they are transphobic because they don't want to change in a locker room with a man. The trans person still has the penis. Well, just now, actually, very recently, I think Lia had the surgery. But when this was happening, he didn't. He had it all on display. I mean, how is that transphobic? She didn't even argue like why it's transphobic. She just said that it's transphobic because it is. Like that's just her declarative statement. It's like I can just say like this can of Fanta is racist because it's orange. And it's making fun of orange people. And I didn't give a reason. I just said that it is, right? I didn't even justify it. I just said it is. And I could probably make this thing more racist than you can make those women transphobic. Like, that's just ridiculous. Those women never spoke out against Lia Thomas when that stuff was happening, which I wish they did, but they didn't. I mean, if anything, they shut their mouths. So, like, I don't see how you can call them transphobic when they obviously let that stuff happen. Some of them are probably okay with it. Some of them weren't, but they didn't say anything. I think one came out recently and now she's with Daily Wire or something like that. And she's doing some stuff with Riley Gaines. So God bless her. But I don't really know what to respond to. Like, what am I supposed to reply to? It's transphobic. Jaden. No, it's not. There's no argument. She just said it is. I don't see what's transphobic about not wanting to change in the locker room with the opposite sex. I don't want any woman. I don't want any women in the men's locker room. No women. And that doesn't make me sexist. I love women. That doesn't make me woman phobic. Like, I don't know, for not wanting a woman in my locker room, because boys will be boys. Like we're you know, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't really know what to tell y'all. I can't really like just sit here and describe what happens in a men's locker room. Nothing crazy, by the way, but it's not appropriate for a woman to be in there, just like it's not appropriate for a man to be in a woman's locker room. It's not appropriate for a kid to be in a strip club. It's not appropriate for an adult to be lingering around on a kid's playground. Like, you know, there's just places where people just don't go. And a woman's locker room is one of those places that a man does not belong in. When did we decide that free speech is no longer a basic human right? What's playing out right now at big tech companies and social media sites sets a dangerous precedent. Look, it doesn't matter what your politics are or who you voted for or anything like that. Everyone should have the right to express themselves freely. And we here at RSBN hold those values fundamentally. Sadly, the big tech monopoly has instead opted for silencing tactics and censorship. And we here at RSBN want to fight back against that. And to fight back against big tech's control of the internet, we here at RSBN highly recommend ExpressVPN. Ever wondered how free to access tech giants make all their money? Well, they do this by tracking your searches, your video history, and everything you click on. They build a profile on you, and then they sell all that data to other people. When you use ExpressVPN app on your phone or tablet or computer, you anonymize much of your online presence by hiding your IP address. And this makes your activity much more difficult to trace and sell to advertisers. And what's more important than this is that ExpressVPN encrypts 100% of your network data to protect you from eavesdroppers and cyber criminals. What I like most about it is how easy it is to use. It just takes one click to protect all your devices at once. That's why ExpressVPN is rated #1 by TechRadar. So let's stop allowing big tech companies to rob us of our free speech, and let's rob them of their right to our data by going to expressvpn.com/rsbn. Again, that's expressvpn.com/rsbn. If you use that link, it'll give you 3 months off of an annual subscription. Again, that's expressvpn.com/rsbn for 3 months free. Also, think about it. Like, Leah Thomas is a grown man. Like, why are we like treating him like he's some dog, this disabled dog with 3 legs and one eye's gone blind and is sitting there pouting and squealing and begging for attention? Like, no, Leah Thomas is a grown man. He can change in the closet for all I care. Because he made that choice. He made that choice to transition into a woman. And it's disgusting, and he should be treated as such, because that's an abomination. There's no reason why we should be mouth feeding people like that, or mouth feeding anyone on that side of the aisle who has that kind of ideology. It's unbiblical, it's not being truthful, so it's lying to them, and it's hateful. That's real hate speech, lying to people and deceiving them and affirming their lies about themselves. We should be Christians. We should love others by telling them the truth in love, right? And this lady, who is just on TikTok, probably just to get a response out of people or just to cause attention to herself, decides to take it upon herself to make the UPenn swimmers who don't want to change in the locker room with Leah Thomas now the enemy, public enemy #1. She wants to shoot the target at them when you really should be shooting the target at who's really behind all this, and that is Satan, right? So I don't want to hear none of this about these women who don't want to be in the locker room with Leah Thomas being transphobic. That's absolutely ridiculous. Everybody has preferences on who they want to change around or who they're comfortable. Some people are not comfortable changing around anyone. Does that make them, for example, let's just say, I'm going to use Riley Gaines since she's just a prominent figure. Let's just say Riley Gaines didn't feel comfortable changing around women either, and that she just preferred to be in a private bathroom. Does that make her sexist against her own teammates? No, it's a preference. Just like women prefer not to change around men. I'm sure you, lady, would not be comfortable with, I don't know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson standing behind you while you change in your bathroom. Or when you go to the bathroom, I bet you close the stall door, don't you? I'm sure you do, so that you can pee and do it in peace when no one's watching you. I don't see anything wrong with that. And it doesn't make you sexist or homophobic or transphobic. It makes you a normal person with preferences. And so, anyway, I don't want to get too caught into that. But y'all, these people, just ignore them. Like these people, like, the stuff goes over their head. When you, like, these people don't want to hear it. They don't have ears to hear. They don't have eyes to see. And these are people that we should be praying for nonstop, that they would soften their hearts, that they would come to Christ, and that they would realize that, like, some hills are just not worth dying on. And calling women transphobic because they want to change in a women's locker room with only women, that's just too far. That's too much. And a lot of people on her side of the political aisle are probably laughing at her and saying, this isn't us. And I would probably believe them. Like, that doesn't represent most people on that side. I hope so. Honestly, nowadays in 2023, you never know. But anyway, guys, that'll be the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and God bless. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And be sure to hit that follow button and that join button. It'll take you over to our locals channel where you can further support the show and get access to additional content. God bless.